Seriously, next gen's been underwhelming, but that's about to change. Real next-gen games are finally here. Let's get into it, starting with the biggest game in history, GTA 6. This isn't just another release. This is what next gen was meant to be. A massive Vice City, dual protagonists, and a world that feels truly alive. Smarter NPCs, denser streets, everything reacting around you. And visually, photo-real lighting, dynamic weather, and animation that's getting scarily close to reality. The scale alone is insane. Story, side content, and an online mode that'll dominate for years. GTA 6 drops in 2026. This is the reason people bought a PS5. And from here, it only gets crazier. Black myth Zhong somehow even bigger than Wukong. Game Science is going all in on next gen. You play as Zhong, diving through the 10 courts of hell. Each realm has its own look, its own ruler, and the visuals already look insane. Built on Unreal Engine 5, photoreal environments, heavy atmosphere, and chaotic combat that still stays clear. Combat builds on Wukong. Demon powers, weapon transformations, and massive boss fights filling the screen. No last-gen limits this time. This is pure next-gen ambition. Zhong hits PS5 in 2027. This could be something special. And things are about to get darker. OD, Kojima, and Jordan Peele creating something unsettling. This isn't normal horror. It's meant to get under your skin. The reveal showed almost nothing, and that made it worse. Familiar faces, reality glitching, pure discomfort. No gameplay, no clarity, just tension. Kojima's pushing the boundaries of fear. And with Peele involved, expect psychological horror over cheap scares. It's going full photo real, micro expressions, uncanny visuals, all designed to feel off. And we still don't know what the game even is, which somehow makes it more interesting. OD is targeting 2026-2027. Kojima plus Peele, that's enough. And next, things get even bigger. Atomic Heart 2. Munfish is going all in on next gen. No last gen limits this time. Back in a Soviet utopia gone wrong, robots gained consciousness and turned hostile. Brutalist architecture fused with biomechanical horror. The art style remains completely unique. Bright propaganda visuals clashing with grotesque mutations. Nothing else looks like this. Combat evolves from the first game. More glove abilities, deeper crafting, smarter interactions. Boss fights now on a much larger scale. Unreal Engine 5 pushes visuals further. Better lighting, density, and full visual chaos. The story dives deeper into the conspiracy, why machines evolved, and your role in it. Atomic Heart 2 targets 2027 on PS5, a visually unmatched experience. And next, martial arts mastery. Gang of Dragon, a Korean martial arts game that came out of nowhere. And its combat instantly stood out. Set in historical Korea during factional warfare, you lead a martial arts gang through clan politics and conflict, a rare setting that already feels unique. Combat is the highlight. Motion-captured fights, cinematic angles, and impactful strikes. Smooth, fluid, and close to film-level choreography. Built on Unreal Engine 5, detailed architecture, dynamic weather, and realistic physics. There's light management too. Recruit members, control territory, shape outcomes. A story about honor, loyalty, and survival. If it delivers, this could surprise. Gang of Dragon targets 2026 on PS5. Definitely one to watch. And next, Oceanic Survival. Tides of Annihilation, a new IP that shocked people instantly. The scale and design alone demand attention. A flooded world where survivors live on moving fortress cities, entire continents submerged, and something beneath is hunting them. Massive bioluminescent sea creatures, truly unsettling. Gameplay blends naval combat with survival strategy. You command fleets, scavenge drowned cities, and fight Leviathan-scale threats. The water tech looks incredible. Real-time waves, dynamic weather, and deep-sea darkness limiting visibility. Backed by Arcane and Remedy design DNA. Strong atmosphere and seamless gameplay transitions. Permadeath adds real stakes. Lose your city, the run ends. Launching late 2026 on PS5, a bold, ambitious new IP. And next, Korean mythology.
Woochi the Wayfarer, a Korean mythology action game with striking visuals. The art direction stands out instantly. You play as John Woochi, a Taoist wizard fighting demons across realms. Joseon-era Korea blended with surreal spirit worlds. The magic system looks spectacular. Talisman spells, calligraphy effects, and large-scale elemental attacks. Traditional art styles brought to life. Built on Unreal Engine 5 with a stylized approach. Painterly characters with detailed environments. Boss fights look massive and cinematic. A story rooted in Korean mythology. Fresh and culturally unique. Launching 2026 on PS5, one to watch. And next, psychological terror. Blood Message, a Japanese horror game focused on pure dread. The atmosphere alone feels deeply unsettling. You're investigating disappearances in rural Japan, abandoned villages, photorealistic decay, and constant isolation. Built with Unreal Engine 5 photogrammetry, real-world scans make environments feel disturbingly real. Lighting and shadows hide threats naturally. No jump scares, just slow, creeping horror. Binaural audio adds realistic, immersive tension. The Blood Message system adds unpredictability. Clues appear dynamically, changing each playthrough. Strong indie horror potential, focused entirely on atmosphere. Launching 2026 on PS5, a must-watch for horror fans. And next, dark fantasy intrigue. Fatekeeper, a dark fantasy RPG with a fresh visual identity. It avoids generic fantasy completely. You play as a Fatekeeper, manipulating threads of destiny. Glowing threads connect people, events, and outcomes in real time. The world blends Eastern and Western mythology. Unique architecture, creatures, and environments. Built on Unreal Engine 5 with layered visuals. Dynamic weather, day-night cycles, and fate threads shaping gameplay. Combat mixes action with fate control. Predict attacks, alter outcomes, and shift probabilities. A story about free will versus destiny. Mechanics drive the philosophy. Launching 2027 on PS5, a bold fantasy RPG to watch. And next, superhero brutality. Marvel's Wolverine, a major PS5 anchor. Insomniac going full M-rated changes everything. This is brutal, unfiltered Logan. Adamantium claws, gore, and full berserker rage. Their darkest, most violent game yet. Combat shifts to close quarters brutality, claw combos, healing-based risk-reward, savage takedowns. Built on Insomniac's next-gen engine, advanced visuals, dynamic weather, and detailed animations. The story dives into Weapon X trauma, memory scars, inner conflict, and raw character depth. Canadian Wilderness and Madripoor confirmed, Sabretooth likely central. Launching late 2026 on PS5, one of the most anticipated exclusives. And next, martial arts perfection. Phantom Blade Zero. S-Game is building serious momentum. The combat quality is shocking for a debut studio. A wuxia dark fantasy with extreme speed. Sekiro meets Devil May Cry. You're an assassin seeking revenge with precise parries and combos. Built on Unreal Engine 5 with stunning visuals, cinematic parries, fluid animations and chaotic yet readable combat. Art blends Chinese aesthetics with dark fantasy, ink-style environments, and myth-inspired enemies. Boss fights look incredible, multi-phase, skill-heavy, and cinematic. A debut studio delivering AAA-level quality. That alone makes it stand out. Launching mid-2026 on PS5, one of the best combat showcases. And next, Samurai Resurrection. Onimusha, Way of the Sword. Capcom revives a legend. After 20 years, it looks incredible. Sengoku Japan under demonic invasion. You wield the Oni Gauntlet, absorbing souls to grow stronger. Classic formula, fully modernized. Built on RE Engine with stunning visuals. Realistic Japan mixed with supernatural effects. Combat blends swordplay and powers, parries, counters, and the return of Isen strikes. Soul absorption fuels combos and abilities. Capcom's recent track record is flawless. This revival is in the best hands. New protagonist with legacy ties, perfect for both fans and newcomers. Launching mid-2026 on PS5, a legendary comeback. And next, complete mystery. Project Tau. And we know almost nothing. That mystery is the marketing. The reveal was pure fragmented imagery, a lone figure, shifting landscapes, and cryptic symbols. No gameplay, no genre, just atmosphere. Likely psychological or surreal horror. Reality feels unstable and constantly shifting. Nothing looks fully real. The visuals are striking, photorealism mixed with impossible environments. Built by experienced developers, high production value even in early footage. The mystery is intentional. Community theories are already building. Targeting 2026-2027 on PS5. Worth watching for the unknown alone. And next, dark fantasy depth. The Blood of Dawnwalker, a dark fantasy RPG from former CD Projekt Red devs. This looks seriously ambitious. Set in medieval Europe with vampire elements, you're caught between human and monster. Day weakens you, night makes you stronger. Visuals blend history with gothic horror, realistic medieval worlds mixed with dark supernatural elements. Built on Unreal Engine 5 with open world scale, seamless exploration, dynamic weather, and reactive environments. The story focuses on moral choices. Humanity versus vampiric nature shapes everything. Combat mixes swordplay with vampire powers, tactical and ability-driven. Launching 2026 on PS5, a must-watch for RPG fans. And next, demonic challenges. Seriously, Valor Mortis, a Souls-like with a distinct visual identity. It avoids generic dark fantasy completely. Death is currency, and resurrection is punishment. Each death costs memories, humanity, even your form. Your character and world visibly deteriorate. The art style uses bold, unnatural colors, reds, purples, and greens, creating constant unease. Combat follows Souls-like fundamentals, but death changes gameplay, weakening you or unlocking paths. Risk versus reward becomes deeper. Built on Unreal Engine 5, stunning lighting and abstract boss designs. A story about identity and loss, philosophy through gameplay. Launching 2027 on PS5, a fresh take on Souls-like design. And next, tactical RPG depth. Solasta II Tactical Adventures is leveling up big. This time, it looks fully next-gen. D&D 5e rules with full mechanical accuracy. Turn-based combat, vertical maps, and clear dice systems. Pure tactical depth for CRPG fans. The visual upgrade is massive. Unreal Engine 5 brings better environments and lighting, fixes the first game's biggest weakness. A larger, more connected world, factions, choices, and deeper companion stories. Vertical combat remains the highlight. Climbing, flying, and layered battle strategies. Strong modding support continues, more replayability and community content. Launching 2026 on PS5, a must-play for tactical fans. And next, global espionage. Star Wars: Fate of the Old Republic. BioWare returns to its peak era. Old Republic with modern RPG design. Set long before the Skywalker saga. Sith versus Republic in full galactic war. Deep moral complexity returns. Visuals aim for photorealism. Lightsaber physics, force destruction, cinematic battles. Frostbite pushing near film-level effects. Choices drive everything. Light versus dark isn't simple, it's philosophical. Companions and factions react dynamically. Combat blends action with tactical depth. Flexible playstyles for all players. Massive scope across multiple planets. High replay value. Launching 2027 on PS5. A huge return for BioWare. And next, post-apocalyptic survival.
Exodus, a sci-fi RPG from former BioWare veterans. That alone makes it ambitious. You're a traveler facing time dilation. Weeks for you, decades for everyone else. Relationships and worlds change without you. The visuals are striking. Alien worlds, starships, and visible character aging. The story focuses on time and consequence. Return to find everything changed. Decisions carry long-term impact. Combat blends shooting with sci-fi abilities, squad tactics with Mass Effect-like DNA. Large-scale galactic exploration, multiple systems, and replayable paths. Launching 2026 on PS5, a true Mass Effect successor to watch. And next, mythological combat.
The Godslayer, a mythology action game with insane scale. The boss design is the main highlight. You're hunting literal gods. Greek, Norse, Egyptian, and more, all reimagined. Each one feels unique. Boss fights are massive, climbing gods while fighting them in real time. Living battlefields, not static arenas. Built on Unreal Engine 5. Huge scale, destruction, and intense visual effects. Defeated gods grant new powers. Combat evolves as you progress. The story explores consequences of killing gods. The world reacts to your choices. Launching 2027 on PS5, a must-watch for boss fight fans. And next, supernatural mystery.
Control Resonant expands its universe, and it's getting even stranger. Jesse Faden returns as director, but reality is breaking. The oldest house is collapsing. The Hiss threat isn't fully gone. Built on the Northlight engine, ray tracing, destruction, and shifting environments mid-gameplay. Brutalist design mixed with impossible geometry. Powers are evolving. Launch and shield return with new abilities like time shifts. Combat in unstable spaces feels unique. Control Resonance, the Remedy universe expands further. Connections to Alan Wake deepen the lore. More secrets about the Bureau. Deeper, stranger storytelling. Launching 2027 on PS5. Remedy's weirdness continues. And next, open world epicness.
The Witcher 4, the third major anchor. CD Projekt Red is going all in on next gen. A new protagonist, likely Ciri. Reality-bending powers change everything. Teleportation and time abilities in Witcher combat. Built on Unreal Engine 5. Massive visual upgrade over Witcher 3. Dense worlds, advanced lighting, and realism. The world expands beyond known regions. New cultures, monsters, and lore. Combat becomes faster and more dynamic. Better traversal and deeper hunting systems. The story explores power and humanity. Series struggle at the center. Launching 2026-2027 on PS5, a huge next-gen RPG. And next, archaeological adventure.
Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, Lara is back. A full return to classic tomb raiding. This is experienced, confident Lara Croft, chasing Atlantis across dangerous locations. Mythology meets large-scale puzzles. Tombs are puzzle-first again, multi-layered chambers and real problem-solving. Exploration feels rewarding. Atlantean tech adds unique mechanics, water physics, gravity puzzles, and traps. Visuals aim for photorealism, improved engine, lighting, and refined traversal. Global locations return, focused, detailed levels over open worlds. Launching late 2026 on PS5, a true return to form. And next, sci-fi future. Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, Naughty Dog's new IP, their first since The Last of Us. You play as a bounty hunter in a distant future, retro-futuristic style with neon cities and analog tech, nostalgic yet cutting edge. Visuals will be top tier, cinematic quality blending gameplay and film, detail and performance at the highest level. The story hints at deep themes, religion, philosophy, and conflict, strong character-driven narrative. Combat mixes action with sci-fi tools, smart AI, and cinematic flow. Large-scale universe across planets, ambitious world-building. Launching 2027 on PS5, a major new IP to watch.
Judas, Ken Levine is finally back. His first game in years targets real innovation. Set aboard a massive starship, you're Judas, hunted by the ship and blamed by the crew. Reality itself feels unstable. BioShock-style visuals in space. Art Deco design with retro-futuristic tech. Strong environmental storytelling. The narrative Lego system adds depth. Choices reshape relationships and outcomes. Consequences truly matter. Combat blends shooting with immersive sim freedom, multiple solutions, and emergent gameplay. The AI antagonist creates constant tension. You're always being hunted. Launching 2026 on PS5, a must-watch for immersive sim fans.
Resonance, A Plague Tale Legacy takes the series in a bold new direction. This time, you're stepping into Sophia's story, and it looks darker, bigger, and far more action-focused. Set 15 years before the original games, you're exploring the mysterious Minotaur's Island, battling enemies, solving ancient puzzles, and uncovering a long-buried curse. Visually, it's a huge leap. Massive ruins, eerie temples, cinematic lighting, and stunning environments make every location look unforgettable. Gameplay is evolving too. Instead of relying mostly on stealth, Sophia fights with swords, daggers, parries, and agile traversal, giving combat a much bigger role than ever before. Resonance, A Plague Tale Legacy launches August 27, 2026 on PS5. If you loved A Plague Tale, this looks like its most ambitious chapter yet.
And that's 25 upcoming games that actually look next-gen. From GTA 6 to The Witcher 4, Phantom Blade 0 to Judas, the future of gaming looks incredible. Which one are you most hyped for? Let me know in the comments.